Okay, that's fairly impressive actually. But, wow. How the heck does it do that? Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Welcome back to another video, and if this is your first time here and you're interested in anything landscape photography, consider hitting that subscribe button. So in today's video, I want to talk about Photoshop's new sky replacement feature. And I haven't actually used this feature yet, so I'm really excited to hop into Photoshop, throw it on some of my images, and see how good it really is. So basically, Photoshop has created this sky replacement plugin that's really just an automated AI kind of way of replacing the sky in your image. And I believe Photoshop has some kind of preset skies that you can use on your images, and I also believe that you can probably upload your own skies and then use Photoshop's sky replacement feature to plug those into your own images. So a little disclaimer, I'm not really a big sky replacement guy. It doesn't really have a place in my landscape photography, but sky replacements and composite images are a big part of photography and a big part of landscape photography as a whole right now. So this plugin by Photoshop's pretty huge really, and it really, potentially if it's any good, it kind of changes the game. So today I thought I would just take a collection of 5 of my images that I thought would have varying degrees of difficulty for the sky replacement feature. I decided to kind of dive into one of my old hard drives from actually my first camera I ever had. So this is before I understood anything about composition, anything about light, anything like that. So a lot of these images could really benefit from a better sky, something more spectacular, something to kind of take over the image, because the composition is definitely not winning in these. So 3 of those images are kind of my older images that I was just talking about that were on my first camera I ever took. And 2 of the images I actually took more recently, and you'll probably recognize them if you watch my channel and you watch that video of me at the on-location shoot at Boneyard Beach. And I went over to Boneyard Beach when we had a tropical storm blowing through, and I was hoping to get this kind of magical storm light behind these trees sitting out in the ocean. And that did happen. We had this magical storm light. However, the way to the beach, because of the tropical storm, was flooded. So I couldn't get there. I missed all this magical storm light. It was killing me. And I ended up with just kind of these cloudy images. Now I do really like them. They kind of had this very simple, minimalist kind of vibe to them. And I kind of like that. But I thought it might be kind of fun. See what Photoshop can do with their new plugin and replace those skies and see if it adds anything to the image. Maybe it'll make them look better, it might make them look worse, but I just really kind of want to, more than really seeing if I like these images, I want to challenge this sky replacement feature and see how good it is. All right, so I'm just going to hop in here, open up Photoshop, open up these 5 images and see what this thing can do. All right, so first image here is overlooking, I believe it was called Crescent Beach in Oregon. Spectacular view. Like I said before, I'm not really a big fan of these compositions, but as you can see, we have nothing in the sky here. And that's a little disappointing. This was taken at sunrise. I think I remember I was hoping for something better, but it just didn't really happen, and I wasn't really sure what to do about it. So this image has kind of this hard, dark edge on the horizon. I think this sky, if I was going to do it manually, this is really easy to replace. So I would imagine this sky replacement feature would have no trouble here. So I'm just going to come here to edit, sky replacement. Then I guess this little box is going to come up. Looks like we can choose what sky we want. I think it's just loading this one right now, but I might play around and change that. All right, it's loaded this sky. Wow. So I think it's done an okay job replacing the sky. It's got this funny little hill over here, which I don't really like that much. Let's see if we can find, it's a little dramatic, I think, for the situation. Let's see. Maybe we can throw a nice blue sky on there. Some nice puffy clouds or something. Something a little less dramatic, maybe. You know, honestly, it's not that exciting, but that's not terrible. Looks like we can change the brightness here of the sky. Can I change I can change the temperature, maybe make it a little more blue. So now down here, these are foreground adjustment. Oh, these foreground adjustments. Oh, I guess I can kind of change. That's clever. You can change the color of your foreground based on kind of that reflected light from the sky. That'll make it look a lot more real, honestly. That's not bad. So if I up this color adjustment, that's just taking the sky color and putting it in there. That's not terrible. It did a nice job replacing the sky along that hard edge. Like I said, I don't think that would have been that difficult for it. So I would say image 1, it passed.
I see that you're hurting. I see that you're down. I see how.
All right, let's go over to the second one. And this is just down on that beach that we were just overlooking. This is Haystack Rock, very famous. And actually, so this was taken at sunset. And it wasn't a terrible sunset. As you can see, there's a little bit of color in the sky. Again, I'm not thrilled with this composition, but I kind of like the silhouette. But to me, I was hoping for something a little more dramatic than this. So let's see if we come over here, our sky replacement again. See if we can make something a little more dramatic. Again, it's loading. My laptop's not the speediest, so. So it's still stuck on that one that we used from last time, and that looks very, very weird. But it did do a nice job replacing it, actually. Like I said, this is another image with that kind of hard edge, so I wouldn't expect this to be too challenging for it. Let's come over here to sunsets and see what we can get. Not really digging any of those. What do we got in spectacular? Oh, these are fairly spectacular, actually. What about that? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I like that. That is a sunset. Wow. The issue with this is that we have a little bit of reflection in the sand, actually. So on images where you have a reflection, this is going to be a little bit more challenging because obviously that is not reflected in the sand. It's the original sunset. Yeah, that's not bad. I would take that. That's kind of what I was hoping for when I was there taking that shot, actually. Just these kind of nice wispy clouds and this nice glowing sunset. That's not bad at all. It did a nice job replacing that. I wonder if we zoom in here, if we can really kind of see this edge. Yeah, no, around that rock, it's really clean. But that's kind of what you would expect. That's such a clean, hard edge. On the horizon out here, I would expect it to be a little fuzzy. Again, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And no one's really going to notice that, especially if you're just posting this image on Instagram or something. That's not bad at all. That's really cool, actually. And that takes 30 seconds compared to having to replace that sky yourself. That's really cool.
Was ready to fight, got lost in the thunder. Without alibis, shout at the night, rage at the lies. Don't let the fear control.
All right, this third image. Oh yeah, I was a big fan of this image when I took it. I'm not sure what I would do differently. It was a cool spot. This is actually, if we go back to this image right here, it was actually these little stacks just to the left here. If you kind of walk around to the left there, you get a different angle and you can kind of separate the two stacks. And I thought it was really cool. And these waves, we had this massive surge when I was there, this big swell, and we kind of had these 20-foot waves rolling in, crashing off the sea stacks, and it was really spectacular. And I was just kind of had my camera on continuous, and I was just holding that shutter down, getting all these crashing waves. And these birds just happened to be flying across, and I thought that was really cool. However, it was the same sunset. So this could do with something really spectacular just to kind of match this crashing wave. So again, we'll come over to our sky replacement. So this is the same sky we just replaced on our other one. This might struggle. That wave, it might struggle with the wave. I'm genuinely impressed, actually. That's pretty cool. I wonder if it's... I feel like it made that back C stack look a little hazy. What if we throw this in here? This one's kind of weird because it has this hill to the right. Yeah, there we go. That's got some drama to it. Wow. So this one's really struggling to match the foreground though. It did a nice job replacing this sky. Actually, around this wave is super impressive. I'll zoom in a second. Super impressive. So what if I bring, it seems to me just by looking at these first few images that I really want to bring that color adjustment up. I don't think it looks real if you don't. And this one's actually kind of struggling, I'll be honest. It's kind of adding this, it's just kind of making the foreground look a little purple. It did a really nice job replacing the sky. I think it's having a little trouble blending this one. Yeah, but it definitely looks better with that color adjustment up. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. You zoom in here. That's super impressive. Wow. So far, I'm pretty blown away, honestly. I have a feeling this bird. So it did all right with this one. I think it may have come across in front of this bird, if that makes sense. But it's not bad. It just looks like the bird's a little further away. It's just kind of adding some almost like atmosphere to the image, which I kind of like actually. And the fact that this kind of brightest part is behind the C stack, that's really cool.
Until the sky has fallen, I'll be around. I'll be there night and day. I'll be there both night and day.
So now we're going to get into, this is one of these minimalist images I was talking about that I actually took this year. So I'm actually really happy with this image. It could have been cool with those like massive kind of storm clouds in the background, but I don't mind it looking like this kind of more minimalist thing. Having just seen how that dealt with the wave, my confidence is kind of growing in this feature. It's really impressive. So let's pop another sky in here. And these branches are dark, these lines are sharp. I don't think it'll have any trouble with that at all, actually. Yeah, no trouble at all. Wow. So again, we're not matching. You know, the trouble with all this, it's doing a fantastic job replacing the sky. It's that foreground color adjustment, right? That's the difficult part. That's more challenging. So let's find something. Let's see if we can't use one of these portrait versions. Yeah, that looks really weird. Okay, I don't like that. What about this one? Ah, that's pretty nice, actually. I don't know what was so weird about that portrait one. Maybe it's just a weird sky. I didn't, not about that. What do we got in here? That could be all right. It's interesting, some of these skies that they have set in here. Ah, that's the one for this. Yep. I like that. That's subtle, a little bit of color. It does such a good job. Wow. That's nice. Yep.
I'll be there night and day. Be there both night and day. Now the pages are turning under the clouds.
Yeah, I'm not going to settle for that sky replacement though. I'm definitely going back to that beach, back to that composition. I'm getting a better sky. That's not bad though. All right, my final image. This is going to be the ultimate challenge. I really, really like this image. I really like this composition. I don't think it needs a sky replacement. However, if this thing can replace the sky on this image, I think it can probably do most things. It's a little scary. Yeah, there's a lot that I like about this composition. I like this foreground. I love that curve in the mud there. I love the three trees and the separation between those three trees. And then you got the little arms on the side coming in. Big fan of this. And we had a little bit of mist, kind of ocean spray in front of those trees, giving you a little bit of atmosphere, kind of adding some more depth to the image. There's just a lot I like about this. Yep, this is a good one. But we're here for the sky replacement, so that's what we're gonna do. Sky replacement, uploading. Okay, that's fairly impressive actually. What? That looks weird, but I think it did a good job actually. I think it's just too dark potentially, the sky. Let me find a different sky and see if this will help. Wow. How the heck does it do that? That's so impressive. There we go. Yeah, it needed to be a little darker in the sky there, I think. If we up that brightness, that just looks... Actually, maybe it needed to be brighter. I get the feeling this is the kind of thing you need to play around with a little bit to really kind of figure it out. But that's so impressive.
Let me show you the silver lining, how to tame them and then to ride them. Cause you weren't meant to be caught counting days. That's not your place. Shout at the night, rage at the light.
Wow. Blown away. That is something. Yeah. That was up to the challenge. Well, that's all 5 images I had for it. You know, my thoughts beforehand were that the horizons that were darker, where there was kind of that harsher line between the two, I kind of thought that it would have an easy time with those. And I thought with the wave and the branches poking in, those images would be really difficult for it. But that's really impressive. That's a really cool feature. It's probably not one that I'm going to use, maybe ever, but it's really well done. It's really well done. Anyways, that's really all I had for you this week. I just wanted to play around with that new feature, that new sky replacement feature in Photoshop, and look at a few images, kind of put it through the paces, see if it could handle it. And I think it did. I'm super impressed, honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up there. I really hope you enjoyed watching that. I know it's a little different. It wasn't super instructional or helpful, but if you didn't know that feature was there in Photoshop, now you do. It works really well. Go ahead and kind of play around with it. But if you enjoyed that video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you are not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.